Today I fucked up by eating a Caesar salad and going for a run. Obligatory not today. I promised my kid I'd wait until he was at least 25 to tell this story. I was working super hard at changing my eating habits, and had recently discovered salad. I especially loved Wendy's salads, and I had just eaten a Caesar salad for dinner, when I decided to go up the street to the middle school track, and walk/run a few laps. The middle school recently had all the roads rerouted around it, and as a result, the back doors faced the main road. Right outside the back doors was a massive blacktop leading up to the track. They had 4 square and hopscotch areas, tetherball, and a basketball court. Because of the roads being ripped up and redone, the new parking lot also faced the back doors, so I was able to drive up and park right in front of/on the basketball court. It was dusk and I had just completed my second lap when my stomach started cramping and gurgling. I wasn't too concerned, because I had already learned that the healthier foods digest differently, often causing gas or bubbles in my tummy. I had felt that before and it always subsided without incident. 4 laps made a mile, so I continued on, going for the mile. I was halfway through my 3rd lap, when things got serious. The ripping feeling across my bowels, and the incredibly loud sounds coming up from my stomach, were both insisting that I get to a toilet, fast. I wait for the cramping to subside, and make a run for it. I was the furthest away from my car that I could have been. I bolt across the middle grassy area, and before I got halfway there, I had to stop and sit again, just in an effort to keep the poop in. There were no toilets around. My stomach was raging. I wasn't gonna get another window, I was gonna have to pinch my cheeks together and waddle run to my car. I was feet away from my car when I knew, it was either shit my pants or squat where I was. I frantically yanked my pants down, and as I was trying to squat in front of my car, to hide from the main road, my stomach exploded. I shat on myself, my pants around my ankles, my own car hood, the license plate, and the basketball court. I was covered in sweat, shit and shame. I couldn't even understand what just happened. I grabbed some garbage from my back seat, placed it on the driver's seat, and drove home. I took a scalding shower, got dressed and went outside to clean the poop off my car hood. My son comes out, curious why I'm dumping hot water on the license plate, so I told him. He laughed so hard, that I put him up for adoption, no takers. I realized that I couldn't just leave the poop at the school, so I filled jugs with hot water, grabbed a scrubber and my recently orphaned child, and went to the school to clean up my mess. I left my car lights on so I could make sure I got it all, and when I pulled up, it looked like someone had died there. It was an odd, almost reddish color, and after the 3 gallons of hot water and bleach, it was clear. I left a 3-foot tall, 4-foot wide shit stain on the basketball court. My son was horrified. Mom, I go to school here. Now it was my turn to laugh hysterically, which I did, as my 12-year-old son looked traumatized. I found out the next day, that Caesar salad dressing has anchovy paste in it, which can cause explosive shits in just about anyone. Don't care. I still eat it. For the next 2 years, the stain very slowly faded. Every time my kid went outside for recess, he would see the stain, and die of embarrassment, even though we were the only ones who knew. It was super useful anytime my kid got mouthy. I just threatened to tell his friends about the stain. He rejoiced when it was time for him to move on to the high school. 3 years after, the whole blacktop was ripped up and replaced, along with the school and track. I stuck with my diet, and lost 140 pounds. The stain is gone, and so is my fupa, but the memory lives on, and the mystery probably does too, because the stain was noticed by many. Too long didn't read. Salad made me shit on my car, myself and all over the basketball court at my son's middle school. Edit weight loss. Yes, I know my face is stupid. I can't stop it from doing that shit whenever a camera is pointed at me. I'm a fellow salads fan, but I also have IBS. I only eat salad at night when I know I don't have to go out. I've had salad and worked out after. Never goes well. This must have been a real shit stain on your legacy. I come here to shit Caesar salad, not to praise it. This is awesome. Good work on your losses. That's hilarious, and sweet that you actually waited to tell it. Today I fucked up by getting caught by my father-in-law with my pants down, rubbing my belly. This happened last week, but I'm still mortified. My partner and I recently bought a house with some financial help from his parents. They've dropped by unannounced a few times since we've moved in, usually with some food or other goodies, so it's not too much of an annoyance. Before I continue, I am painfully aware of how lucky/spoiled we are. Anyways, we have a half bath downstairs which faces our side door/main entrance. Since I am 9 months pregnant, the toilet is used by me pretty frequently during the day, as I would not be able to make it upstairs in time with my overcrowded bladder. Recently, as my belly grows large, I've been leaving the door wide open so I feel I have a little more room to do my business. When I'm done, I like to look at my ever-changing body in the mirror, with my pants still at my ankles. One time while I was admiring my bow today, I fucked up a belly. I hear the side door jiggle, and when I look up, I make eye contact with my father-in-law, who is about to walk right in. Instead of closing the bathroom door and hiding like a normal person would have done, I hopped away and ran upstairs, all while yelling at my partner to deal with his dad. I hid in my bedroom until he was long gone. My face is burning with heat just writing this. Too long didn't read. Father-in-law caught me with my pants down while I was admiring my 9-month pregnant body in the downstairs bathroom because I left the door wide open. This suggests the bathroom/bathroom door are in direct line of sight of a windowed exterior door. That sucks. Yep, there is a glass screen door and a windowed interior door. We weren't sure which door people would use as the main entrance to the house. Now we know. And now you've just solved the problem of them dropping by unannounced. Perfect. I think that rubbing your belly in the mirror with your junk out is a perfectly normal thing to do in the privacy of your own bathroom, pregnant or not. Honestly, you're pregnant, rubbing your belly is more or less normal. It would be a lot worse if you were a man just rubbing your belly. I totally understand being embarrassed, but it sounds like you probably have a good relationship with your in-laws, so hopefully your Phil isn't weird about the situation. True, could be much worse. I've seen him a few times, no mention of the belly rubbing, yet. Today I fucked up by making the CEO of my job think I'm in a fight club. Yesterday, I had the misfortune of getting a massive black eye, the event of which can be read about here for the full story. Even more unfortunate than getting a huge black eye was the timing, which happened to be the night before the most important presentation of my young career. Our story begins this morning when I woke up to find that only one of my eyes opened. A quick trip to the bathroom mirror found this monstrosity looking back at me. After going back and forth and even asking on Reddit how I should approach the presentation given my stunning resemblance to Quasimodo, I decided that I should just own it and do my presentation without doing anything to cover my eye. So I finished getting ready for the big day and presentation, then leave for work. The journey to work was interesting enough by itself, as driving with one eye takes quite a bit of getting used to, but I managed to arrive in one piece. As I walk into the office, I'm immediately met with stares and could hear some hushed whispers among co-workers behind me as I walked by. I wasn't long before word got passed to my boss, who came to take a look at the damage. After the initial shock, he just kinda sighed and said that the CEO was going to love looking at that for the next hour. So, that wasn't a great start. I gather my notes and computer and go to the conference room to prep for my presentation. As I am getting the PowerPoint set up, in walks the CEO, whom I've only ever seen in passing. There was an audible gasp when he saw my face, followed immediately by a "What the hell happened to you?" I had decided earlier that I was just going to try to make jokes about my eye so I didn't have to be so self-conscious about it, and responded that I was in a club, but I'm not supposed to talk about it, followed by a laugh. He didn't laugh. I tried to finish the conversation quickly as other people had started to file into the conference room, and I began my presentation. Even though the first joke didn't go well, I still tried to throw in a few jokes like in this next slide. Unlike me, you can see. To a few polite chuckles from sympathetic co-workers. I finished the presentation and am thanked by my boss, and the meeting was finished immediately after. A few minutes after I leave the conference room, my boss calls me into his office and tells me to shut the door. Oh. He begins by saying that he could see that I put a lot of work into my presentation, but he was very unimpressed with my unprofessionalism. He said that he had had a conversation with the CEO who had serious concerns about me, apparently worried about a potential unsavory life outside of work and inability to be serious in a professional setting. I try to explain that I was only making jokes because I'm self-conscious about my eye, but my boss refused to hear it. He told me I am getting a formal warning and that I am one more fuck up away from getting fired, before telling me to leave and go to a doctor to get my eye checked. To top off this wonderful day, the doctor told me it'll be about a week to open my eye and about 4 to 6 weeks before I look normal again. Should be an interesting month. Too long didn't read, joked that I was in a fight club at work and almost get fired. Unprofessionalism for that? Fucking hell, that's BS. My thoughts as well, like obviously it looks terrible, but it's not exactly like I can fix it overnight. Trust me, I've tried. Send an email to HR and explain your side in writing. That you feel uncomfortable about the people spreading rumors and spreading word around the office before anyone actually spoke to you about what happened, your boss's response to an accidental injury, and the CEO's response to an injury. Explain that you are very embarrassed by the fact your eye is swollen from a sports injury and that you're being harassed and given a formal warning because of an injury. Also explain that you were wanting to take time for the injury to heal and consider taking the day off but did not want to miss the presentation prepared diligently for the CEO because you care about your work as an employee of the company. You're 100% covering your ass when you get fired because of an outside of work accident. It will be a hefty payout for sure, let's put it that way. Wow, thank you for the advice. I really appreciate it. Was pretty much at a loss for next steps other than put my head down and be a diligent worker. Thanks again. The guy sounds like a square. The first time I met the CEO of the company I work for, we joked around about how shitty COVID was and how we can't wait to go to bars. I'm a receptionist, so him even acknowledging my existence was a shock to me. Wish my CEO was like that. Time to start looking for a new job. You don't want to spend much longer in an environment like that. It's tough, because I love what I do, but this might not be the right environment for me. I'll definitely have to wait for the shiner to fade before doing any interviews though. That CEO is walking around with something big up his ass. Who the fuck acts like that? Good question. I guess he doesn't want his employees to be part of fight clubs. Shame really, lol.